Water connects all life. It flows through our bodies, our cells, our stories, a quiet intelligence that sustains everything we know. But what if water is more than a physical substance? What if it carries energy, emotion, maybe even memory? Welcome to Green Earth Essentials. I'm Michelle Jackson, and today we're diving into one of the most fascinating and controversial ideas in modern science and spirituality: water memory and structured water. We'll explore where this theory began, from Jacques Benveniste's famous experiments to Dr. Gerald Pollack's discovery of the fourth phase of water. We'll talk about Masaru Emoto's emotional water crystals, ancient water rituals, and the modern movement towards structured or living water. Through it all, we'll separate fact from fiction, myth from measurable science, and reflect on how our relationship with water might hold deeper meaning than we realize. If you'd like to connect with me, join the conversation, or explore my holistic wellness community, visit my Substack at substack.com/@greenearthessentials. The link is in the episode description. There you'll find links to my social pages, podcast notes, and our growing community there. Now take a breath, maybe even a sip of water, and let's dive into the mystery together. Seen from space, Earth glows blue, a shimmering world wrapped in water. Oceans, clouds, rivers, and rain move through endless cycles of evaporation and return, always changing form but never disappearing. We too are mostly water. The human body is about 60% H2O, the brain and heart nearly 70, the lungs around 80. Even our bones hold moisture deep within. Every thought, breath, and heartbeat depends on it. Water isn't just what we drink, it's what we are. It carries nutrients, cushions joints, regulates temperature, and gives form to life. It's the great communicator, moving minerals through soil, transferring energy through ecosystems, and linking every living thing. But what if water does more than transport information? What if it can store it? Healers, philosophers, and scientists have long wondered whether water has an inner life, a subtle awareness or structure capable of remembering what it's touched. Ancient traditions spoke of it as a sacred mirror, reflecting both the outer world and the human soul. Modern science sees water as a simple molecule, 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, yet it behaves unlike any other liquid. It expands when frozen, dissolves more substances than any other solvent, and defies classical chemistry in dozens of ways. It's almost as if water follows its own quiet set of rules, ones we don't yet fully understand. And so arises today's mystery. Could water, this most familiar of substances, carry the memory of what it's encountered, physical, energetic, or even emotional? From here, we'll follow the thread back to where this idea began, with one scientist's bold experiment that forever changed how we think about water. In 1988, French immunologist Dr. Jacques Benveniste made a claim so extraordinary it seemed to defy chemistry itself. Studying allergic reactions, his team noticed something strange. Even when an antibody solution was diluted so much that no physical molecules remained, the water still triggered an immune response in living cells. It was as if the water remembered what it once contained. When Nature published Benveniste's results, it sent shockwaves through science. The idea that water could retain an imprint of a substance, even in its absence, challenged the foundations of biology and physics alike. Some hailed it as revolutionary. Others saw only experimental error. Nature even sent a team, including a journalist and a magician skilled in detecting deception, to his lab. Under strict testing, the results failed to replicate, and Benveniste's credibility crumbled. Yet he refused to give up. He claimed the effects were real but subtle, beyond the reach of conventional instruments. He later proposed that water could store electromagnetic patterns like a recording medium, even experimenting with transmitting these signatures digitally, a notion bordering on science fiction. His work drew ridicule and fascination in equal measure, sparking decades of debate and inspiring new lines of research into water's mysterious behavior. What makes Benveniste's story enduring isn't the controversy, but the question it raised. What if our instruments simply aren't sensitive enough yet? Could there be a layer of information beneath the molecular level that we've only begun to glimpse? Science progresses through curiosity as much as certainty, through the courage to ask questions that might be wrong. The water memory debate stands as a reminder that wonder itself is a form of discovery. In the years that followed, even a Nobel laureate would take up this strange thread, exploring whether water might indeed store electromagnetic information, leading us into the next chapter, the fascinating world of structured water and the so-called fourth phase of H2O. After Jacques Benveniste's controversy faded, another scientist picked up the trail, not to chase memory, but to explore structure. At the University of Washington, Dr. Gerald Pollack, a professor of bioengineering, studied how water behaves inside living cells. He wasn't seeking anything mystical, only to understand how water interacts with biological surfaces. Yet what he found reshaped that understanding. Pollack discovered that water near certain surfaces, like cell membranes or other hydrophilic materials, behaves differently from ordinary liquid water. It forms a structured layer, dense, orderly, and aligned in repeating patterns. He called it the exclusion zone, EZ, because it pushes away impurities and solutes. This structured water seems neither solid nor liquid, but something in between, a gel-like state that can hold an electrical charge. When exposed to light, especially infrared, the EZ expands, as though it's storing energy from the light itself. That discovery hinted at something extraordinary. Water might act like a microscopic battery, absorbing, storing, and releasing energy to fuel biological processes. In this view, water doesn't just carry energy, it participates in it. Pollack's fourth phase remains controversial. Some see it as a major leap in understanding cellular biology. Others argue his claims outpace the evidence. Still, even critics agree that interfacial water, the kind in and around cells, behaves differently than bulk water. His research opened new paths in biophysics and hydration science. If structured water truly exists within us, it could help explain how energy flows through tissues, how blood glides through tiny vessels, and how the body maintains molecular harmony. To many, from traditional healers to quantum biologists, Pollack's theory feels like a bridge between science and spirit. It suggests water may not be a passive medium for life, but an active partner in shaping it. Whether or not this fourth phase proves to be a new state of matter, it reminds us that water still keeps secrets, secrets that could transform our understanding of life itself. And as science advanced from chemical experiments to high-resolution imaging and energy research, another question began to rise, one born from emotion rather than data. Could our thoughts change the structure of water itself? That's where we turn next, to the work of Masaru Emoto and his mesmerizing, controversial water crystals. In the late 1990s, Japanese researcher Masaru Emoto captivated the world with a poetic idea that water could reflect human emotion. He froze small water samples and photographed the resulting ice crystals under a microscope. What he claimed to see was striking. Water exposed to loving words like gratitude or peace formed elegant, symmetrical crystals, while water labeled with hate or fear produced chaotic, fragmented ones. Classical music created beauty. Harsh words and heavy metal produced distortion. Emoto believed water could register the energetic imprint of human consciousness, that thoughts and emotions might shape matter itself. His photographs, published in the Hidden Messages in Water, were mesmerizing, tiny snowflake mandalas that seemed to shimmer with feeling. The message resonated deeply, blending science, spirituality, and art in a world hungry for meaning. Yet scientists remained unconvinced. His methods lacked blind testing and replication, and his choice of beautiful or ugly crystals was entirely subjective. For most researchers, Emoto's work was symbolic, not scientific, artful metaphor rather than measurable fact. And still his idea lingers, because whether or not water records our emotions, we are changed by expressing them. When we speak with love or gratitude, our breathing slows, our muscles relax, and our body's chemistry shifts. Our inner waters respond. In that sense, Emoto's message was less about molecular memory and more about consciousness, how our thoughts ripple outward, shaping the emotional climate we live in. Water may not remember, but it reflects something essential. Intention matters. Harmony creates beauty. Neglect breeds chaos. As we move from emotion into evidence, researchers today are revisiting these mysteries with new tools and sharper insight, uncovering what water may still be hiding about life and energy. Across the world, water has always been more than a simple element. It's been a sacred force. Nearly every ancient culture saw water not just as a resource, but as a living presence, carrying spiritual intelligence and the power to purify, heal, and connect. In Greece and Rome, sacred springs were believed to hold divine power, places where the veil between the mortal and the divine thinned. Pilgrims would journey miles to bathe or drink from these waters, trusting they could wash away illness or misfortune. In Christian baptism, water symbolizes rebirth, the cleansing of the old self so the spirit can emerge renewed. And in Hindu tradition, the Ganges River is said to be a goddess in physical form, her waters capable of dissolving karmic burdens. In Ayurveda, the oldest known system of holistic medicine, water was seen as living when it flowed, moved, and breathed with the earth's rhythms. Still water was considered stagnant, energetically dull, while moving water carried prana or life force. Indigenous peoples, too, have long honored water as a sacred relative rather than a resource, from the water songs of the Anishinaabe to the purification ceremonies of the Navajo. These practices remind us that water is not passive, it's responsive, holding memory and vibration. Ancient people treated water as both mirror and messenger, a bridge between worlds. They spoke to it, sang to it, and believed it spoke back through ripples, dreams, and intuition. It makes you wonder, were they sensing something real, some energetic intelligence within water that modern science is only beginning to rediscover? The deeper we look into water's structure, frequency, and responsiveness, the more it seems those ancient rituals were not superstition, but early forms of energetic science waiting to be understood. In today's wellness world, structured water is both a buzzword and a booming business. You've probably seen the gadgets, vortexers that mimic mountain streams, gemstone bottles said to infuse energy, or chargers that claim to realign molecular structures. Some even promise hexagonal water, supposedly more organized and hydrating. It's a captivating idea that water can be alive or chaotic depending on how we treat it. But scientifically, there's no clear evidence these products alter H2O's molecular structure in any lasting way. Water's bonds shift billions of times per second. Structure is inherently fleeting. Still, the curiosity isn't misplaced. Some researchers study how water organizes near cell membranes or within tissues, exploring brief patterns that might influence energy transfer and communication. The science is evolving, even if marketing often runs ahead of it. Then there's the psychological side, perhaps the most potent. When you swirl, bless, or mineralize your water, you're paying attention. That mindfulness can calm the nervous system, aid digestion, and enhance vitality. So maybe the point isn't to collect every gadget, but to engage consciously. Notice how your body feels when you drink water with gratitude versus mindlessly gulping it. Curiosity, not blind belief or cynicism, keeps us balanced between science and spirit, open to wonder yet grounded in discernment. After all the theories, debates, and dazzling possibilities, it's grounding to return to something simple, our relationship with water itself. Beyond structure, charge, or frequency, water is the element that moves through us and sustains every flicker of life. And how we engage with it can transform an ordinary act like drinking a glass of water into something quietly sacred. Many traditions teach that intention matters, not because it changes the molecular structure of water, but because it changes us. When you pause before drinking, take a breath and express gratitude for the water in your hands, your nervous system softens. The act becomes a meditation. One sip, one heartbeat, one reminder that you are part of a living cycle that began long before you and will continue long after. Some people bless their water, whisper affirmations, or visualize light moving through it before they drink. Others use bathing, swimming, or even standing in the rain as forms of emotional release, letting the water carry away tension, grief, or old stories. Whether or not we frame these as energy practices, they echo a universal truth. Cleansing is as much emotional as it is physical. Even if water doesn't remember in a scientific sense, we do. Our bodies, which are mostly water, respond to the quality of our attention, the ritual itself, That mindful moment of presence can shift mood, awareness, and even physiology. Gratitude in this way becomes hydration for the soul as much as for the body. As we continue, the journey moves toward a broader reflection, how water connects all life and what it means to care for this sacred element on a planetary scale. Whether or not water truly holds memory, one thing is certain: it carries the story of life itself. Every ocean wave, every tear, every drop that flows through your veins has cycled through countless forms of existence. The same molecules that once moved through ancient seas now move through you. In that sense, the memory of water isn't a mystery to prove or disprove. It's a living continuum that shapes our cells, our climate, and our consciousness. Perhaps the real memory of water lives through us in the way we care, the way we connect, and the way we honor the rhythms of the natural world. Each sip, each rainfall, each act of reverence is a reminder that we are not separate from the waters of the earth, but part of their endless transformation. If you enjoyed today's exploration and want to go deeper, I invite you to connect with me on Substack at substack.com/@greenearthessentials. There I share extended reflections, written companions to each episode, and behind-the-scenes insights that expand on the conversations we explore here. You'll find the link in the episode description, making it easy to join the community and continue the journey. Until next time, stay curious, stay hydrated, and remember, the water within you is part of the same ocean that began it all. This is Michelle Jackson signing off.